Hi, I am Matt from Soul Shifter. Welcome back to my channel. Right, so today I would like to ask you a question. If you are in a position of power or authority or leadership within a specific religion, does that make you slightly more than just human? Okay, wait, that sounds really strange. I'm not talking about big superpowers, okay? I'm going to tell you a little story. Um, there once was a man who was very involved in the church, and he was quite a prominent member. All right. He would go out into the community and he would help feed the needy, he would help look after the sick, he would help financially with the baby aftercare. He was a very considerate man to all appearances. All right. And yet, deep down, he was very judgmental, and he was also very, very racist. All right. Is this allowed? Are we as are these people who are in positions of leadership within a religion, are they also just human, or are they meant to be slightly above the usual human condition of racism and culturalism and um, you know coming down hard on homosexuality and having very, very, very anti-trans views, that sort of thing? Or should they be preaching love and acceptance and harmony as well as living it? Now, we're all human, as I keep saying, and we all have our moments. Don't tell me you've never been racist in your life. Don't tell me you've never looked at somebody and went, oh my God, how can she wear that big fat woman in that little short skirt? I do that. Not often, but I certainly have found myself doing that. I tend to bring myself back and say, hey, you know what, that fat lady in the skirt, she's probably trying really hard, And anyway, fuck it, she actually looks pretty cool. Show what you got, baby, and if you got the curves, show them. Or if you're gay, if you, I have an absolute thing about very, very feminine gay men in public holding hands, kissing, and all that sort of thing. I don't know, maybe I'm just of a completely different generation, but that just, it's like running nails down a chalkboard. Ooh. And yet, who am I to judge those people? Who am I to sit there and go, you know? Isn't that what gay people have fought for? My generation fought to allow these youngsters to do that. It becomes very difficult. I'm not a preacher. I'm not a guru. I'm not in any position of leadership or power within any sort of religious community. But do you think that someone who is in that position of power, do you think that they can? I'm not asking that they should, because we know they should not. Okay, but do you think they can have that underlying humanity of um, whatever it is, racism, culturalism, homophobia, whatever? Does that make them human? Now, I want to ask you this. Even if they're not preaching this message, this internal message that they have, even if they're not preaching it, does that exonerate them? Will God forgive them? Whatever God it is, will they be forgiven for being what is sometimes called a Sunday Christian, where they are in the church, they are preaching the word of God, or in the temple preaching the word of the deities, if they are in the synagogue or in the mosque, wherever. And yet, as soon as they step out, it's, oh my gosh, there's a black guy with a white girl, or there's an Indian girl with a white guy, or homosexuals, gays, starting to even perhaps use the words that we shouldn't. In South Africa, we have a K word, and I think in America you have an N word, which can only be spoken by black people towards each other. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. If these people of power and leadership, do you think they can use that sort of language, even if it is just amongst their close friends? Do you think that is acceptable in their private life, away from their religion? Or do you think that if they're in a position of power, do you think that they should understand more and preach the understanding instead of actually speaking the vileness, the ugliness, the horribleness? And as I say to you, we all have our moments, and don't tell me you don't, because you do. And I understand that we're all human beings. We all have our own cultures, our own beliefs, our own religions. And I think sometimes we can just go and just snap at someone, or have that intrusive thought, whatever, the fat chick or whatever. But then I think we pull back. We understand that this is not, I'm not in a position of leadership. Yes, I know it's wrong. I know I shouldn't be doing that. But I'm not preaching acceptance on the one hand and then using derogatory terms or thinking in a derogatory way on the other. Let me know down below, what are your thoughts on this? Do you know people who do this? Or have you heard stories of this happening? Be very interested to know. Leave a comment while you're down there, like, subscribe, and share my videos with people, especially now that I've got the new channel up and running. Let's see if we can, get a couple more subscribers. It's up to you to share my videos with your friends. Okay guys, you know who I am. I'm Matt from, I keep wanting to say Tubby Tarot, but that's not right. I'm Matt from Soul Shifter, and I will see you on the other side.